guys, so today I thought we could chat about something that we all have in our art room, the early finisher. You know what I'm talking about, those kids who are done and then you are on the struggle bus to find something for them to do. Now I have found that early finishers, they fall into two categories. There's the rare bird early finisher, the one kid who genuinely is finished. They bring you their work of art and you're like, boom, nailed it. There's nothing more that this kid could add to their artwork to make it any more amazing than it already is. Like I said, a rare bird. That's early finisher number one. The more common early finisher I have found is the one who's just like, done! And they bring you that work of art and you know that they could be working on this, and that. Send them on back to their seat a good 3 or 4 times, but by the 4th time, y'all, you are not getting any more juice out of that turnip. They genuinely are tapped out and done. So what do you do with these early finishers? Well, I do a couple of things, but I have to keep it short and sweet. My art classes are about 30 minutes for my younger students and a little longer for my older kids. So I can't have big, elaborate early finisher activities. I used to have the fave go-to of free draw, but that has since been scrapped. You can't do a quality free draw in 2 to 5 minutes. So now my early finisher activities involve things like working with blocks. I have a block center. I have a little origami area that the kids can go and create something in. I also have, and I'm sure you guys too, a plethora of dry erase boards. My kids love dry erase boards. They enjoy writing on the dry erase board. They love to get out the drawing books just like they do with free draw, and they draw on the dry erase board with that. When art class is over, you wipe it down. You can use your hand, you can use tissue, wipe it on down and put it away. Now, these boards, I wouldn't pay more than $1 for them. I've seen them for $1 just about everywhere I go. These guys came from Target. And the reason I picked them up is because I noticed that on the other side of the dry erase board, there were lines, like notebook paper. Now, when I was in elementary school, I didn't have art as a kid, and I wasn't exactly really good at the reading and the math, and I'm still not very good at the math thing, and reading is sometimes a struggle. So, all that to say, when we were introduced to cursive writing, which I think was maybe in 3rd or 4th grade, I fell in love because it really tapped into my love for drawing. And it was something that I was actually really good at. I have beautiful handwriting, if I do say so myself. So I really enjoyed learning how to do cursive writing. This past year, I noticed that my students' handwriting, especially my older students' handwriting, is looking pretty poor. And it's not because they aren't trying. Well, maybe part of it. But mostly it's because cursive writing is no longer in our curriculum. I know the teachers in my school do a really good job trying to squeeze it in there when they can, but because we are always so focused on teaching to the test, if it's not in the curriculum, it oftentimes doesn't get taught. So knowing that cursive handwriting is missing from our curriculum and knowing how much I enjoy doing it, I took that dry erase board that had the lines on it and I created this little cursive handwriting board. All I did was I used a Sharpie, permanent marker, and I wrote above the lines the letters of the alphabet in cursive and even the numbers. I wrote it in Sharpie, thinking that my students could use the marker and trace and draw over it to practice. What I found is that whatever is in these dry erase markers was erasing the Sharpie. So after I figured that out, I went ahead and wrote it again in Sharpie, and then I put a fine layer of Mod Podge on top of that. And that will prevent this from going anywhere. I left these lines open underneath so that my thinking is my students can then practice writing either on the short line or on the big line. I'm going to leave that up to them. And then when they're finished, just like the other side of the board, go ahead, erase this, and put it away. So that's a new little early finisher activity I've decided to add to my room to throw cursive writing, one of my favorite things, into the mix. And yeah, so there you go. I'd love to hear what early finisher activities you guys have in your room, especially when you just have a hot minute to spare, and if you would ever consider doing cursive writing with your students in your art room. Maybe you already do. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Go practice that cursive writing, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.